everyone, welcome to episode 21 of the weekly debate discussion show, Hashtag Shout. I am the Lone Walker 1.
And I'm Steve Jones C13, and with us we have the current Hashtag Shout Quiz champion, regular guest, Dan, the Geek King Adamson. How you doing, Geek?
Not bad.
Well,
Every week we bring you some of the news of the week and the funny stories to the controversial. We also have my tweets of the week and the long-awaited results of Steve's Fancast Challenge.
hey! From the greatest hits of Queen to the illegal hits of Chris Brown, we discuss everything and anything in the open forum that is Hashtag Shout!
And with all that balderdash out the way, let's get on to the news.
Balderdash,
is it?
Okay, I've got two news articles this week. The first one, chocolate lowers blood pressure.
Woo!
I've been saying that for years.
Daily consumption of dark chocolate or cocoa powder caused a slight reduction in blood pressure readings, a review of the study of the evidence showed. There's English in there somewhere. Although the effect was small, it was potentially to help people from a heart disease. Sorry, I have like 4 hours sleep. But yeah, the idea that dark chocolates can help lower blood pressure.
Alright, dark chocolate.
Yeah. That sounds great in principle. What about all the other shit it causes?
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Amputations.
And I don't like dark chocolate, so...
Who does?
You know, the Milky Bar kid seems healthy, but what about white chocolate? What does that do?
Well, you could be an albino.
He wasn't albino.
Come on!
He was just a perfect Aaron.
No, he was too small.
Anyway, and my second news story, whiskey bottle named world's largest. A 220-litre bottle of whiskey has been named the largest in the world. The huge bottle filled with the famous Grouse blended whiskey was awarded the Guinness World Record on Sunday as the brand also celebrates its 107th birthday. It surpassed its 200-litre target by more than 10% and holds the equivalent of 9,120 grams of whiskey. That's a lot of whiskey, or weekend for you.
Whiskey takes a little bit longer.
I know, it's mine up to admit, man. But yeah,
4 or 5 days.
Actually, I'm not a big fan of the famous Grouse, although there's nothing wrong with blended whiskies. I'm more of a single whiskey guy. You know, Macallan. Ooh, Macallan. I would burn down an entire village for a Macallan.
He set himself off.
I bet it smells lovely as well.
Yeah, so anybody got any other news stories?
There is the one I sent to you. A Hungarian politician, leader of an anti-Semitic party, causing racial hate between Jews.
I know what the fucker is.
Discovered that he is in fact half Jew himself.
Good for him.
Yeah.
It's like the member of the BNP who's a fucking black man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does turn out, I did tell our parentals about this. Yes. My mother had the single best reaction to any news story I've ever heard. I went, yeah, there's some Hungarian politician, anti-Semitic party leader, found out he's Jewish. To which my mother responded, oh, did he kill himself?
You gotta love the woman. But yes, so, which one will get the damn boring mark of approval?
I like chocolate, but come on, dude, world's largest whiskey bottle.
Yeah.
Unless it's empty and going over someone's head, I don't give a fuck.
So, when it comes to the world's largest whiskey?
Boring!
There we go, Dan.
In which case, we just move right into...
Tweet!
So, you've got your tweets of the week.
Hopefully that was knowledgeable.
Indeed, yeah. I do, and an extra bit for the ending of the segment. First off, we start with at the Mark Twain. Courage is resistance to...
Whoa, no, I don't believe you.
Obviously, it's somebody posting Mark Twain.
It's someone posting his quote.
I was going to say Mark Twain.
Courage is resistance to fear.
He's not tweeting.
No, he's on Tumblr. Courage is resistance to fear. Yeah.
Sweet.
Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, but not absence of fear.
Indeed.
At the Borowitz Report. Republican...
What?
The Borowitz Report.
What's that?
Some dude.
It's a report by Borowitz.
Republican politicians fear that if same-sex marriage is legal, their boyfriends will give them ultimatums.
Before you do your last one, I've got to throw one in from the Spoony one. He was doing this thing about Batman in the real world kind of deal. Okay, would you please state your name for the court? It's not who I am that matters. It's what I do that defines me. That was from the Spoony one, who are Ant Weiler, one of the most controversial people on Twitter, apparently. Yeah,
there you go. It's from Red Foreman parody.
Okay.
From the That 70 Show.
Yep.
It says, 2 years later, and it's still impossible to pull out an iPad in public without looking like a dumbass.
Yeah. Just before you do your last tweet, can I just say there's one other thing about that. It's not just your iPod. Have you know, I don't know if it happens to you guys. If I go out in the street and I pull out like a Mars bar.
Yeah.
people look at me as if I'm eating, an entire
baby.
Yeah, because of the size that we are. Because we're bigger guys.
See,
as soon as you put out something to eat, it's like, look at the fucking fat fucker eating.
I tend to not. If I had a chocolate bar, I tend to just sneak away onto rooftops.
I literally once caused utter confusion at a bus station by going to the get food. People were like, look at me already. Then I pulled out an apple, and people look as if I pulled out mini Jesus.
I thought it was green things, isn't it?
It's the green fruit thing.
The what?
It looks a tiny bit like this.
Oh, so you ate an iPod?
No. You see the symbol on the back?
iPod.
No, that one.
Oh yeah.
But that's actually shaped for fruit.
Oh,
The thing which isn't chocolate and it grows on a tree, and it's green.
money.
Dude,
Yes.
dude, it's like a potato, only rounder and sweeter.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And your last tweets of the week.
before the final bit, yes, is Wikipedia from the QI Elves. Sex without love is an empty experience, but as empty experiences go, it's one of the best. That's a quote from Woody Allen. Finally, I'd like to present to you, gentlemen, my derp of the week.
Derp of the week?
Indeed.
What is this derp of the week?
Would you like to go ahead?
Derp of the week!
Bum, bum, bum.
This comes from...
He's actually printed it off. It's
I have. This comes from at Amanda Swaggy. Would you like to know her Twitter?
Yes.
Twitter username? Amanda Bieber.
Oh God, it's her. No.
Dad, are you ready?
Look better.
Yeah.
So what's the tweet?
Justin Bieber is so much better than Kurt Cobain, so shut up. Did Kurt Cobain ever have the biggest fan base on Twitter? No. The saddest part of this: 50 plus retweets, 50 plus favourites.
You know what's bad about this?
What?
And our handler isn't Amanda Bieber. Her Twitter handle is Manda Swaggy.
I know I said that instead of Aqua.
Yeah. So she has 50 plus and one. You know what's really bad about this?
Yeah.
What?
It's the spelling's immaculate. The grammar's really good. But your picture, pet. I don't think you look like a 12-year-old Canadian girl.
How do you know?
The funny thing is, she is actually a 12-year-old Canadian girl.
Because it has the word boyfriend across it. It's a front cover for a fucking CD.
You know that to be reminds me of Avril Lavigne's girlfriend song,
So-
and
I girlfriend,
I hate that song as well.
So,
I like it for one reason only, and Jisby knows that reason.
so people, those were my tweets and derp of the week.
Tweet of the week! Derp of the week!
Bum 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 bum.
It comes of an older time. Oh, no.
And now, with that done, it's time, finally, to check out how the boss did with his Superman Fancast challenge. So then, boss.
Well, before I, do all that, as you can see, I've written in the script that Dan gives us a recap of the challenge. But,
you want to recap?
but I've not picked the words that you have to say. So feel free to whatever vocabulary you like, you would anyway.
Do it in German.
And to be fair, I just felt like I felt like it should be some notes right that line since someone was busy on Skype.
Yes. So basically, if you go ahead and give us your...
Yeah, okay, the recap was pretty simple. Obviously, we had your Flash one done.
Indeed.
Really good. I had my Batman done. And this was all leading, these fan casts all leading into a Justice League film.
Yes.
But what's the Justice League without one of the big dogs? One of the holy trinity of DC, Superman. So we give you Superman.
Yes.
And I said that I thought it was relatively simple. I said I wanted Darkseid in it, I wanted Brainiac, and I wanted Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. Anyone else you can throw in, do whatever you want. It could be whatever part of his history, it could be in the origin story, whatever. And basically I told you, yeah, do that. Apparently, wasn't that easy when you get a novelist involved.
Here's the problem. I can't not overthink things, right? I can't just write bullet points. I have to try and plan out my head.
Which we understand.
I'm a novel writer. I'm not a script writer. So, what you'll get is...
One question.
Yes?
Am I a script writer?
Are you a novel writer?
Am I a script writer?
Are you a novel writer?
No, I'm a comic book writer.
Right. If you've never tried writing a novel, you'll never know what it
Okay,
means.
what about you then, dude?
I tend to find I'm better at doing scripts and comics than I am at doing.
Just want to clear things up.
Basically, this is what I've done. I've kind of written. So we've seen this in a fan cast, which we loved the layout. So I've followed that layout.
Okay.
I try to tell the story, and then as the character appears, I say
Reveal who it is. Okay.
Right. I've also done this thing. So I've done this thing for the benefit of Tumblr viewers and for the benefit of you guys here.
with those flash photography.
Yeah, I've done a PowerPoint basically, so you'll be able to see the person I've picked compared to the person they're playing.
Yeah.
Okay? Right, so, in some of this, you'll just have to imagine that shit happens. I haven't written everything, just anything that's for plot purposes and important scenes.
Sure.
Okay.
The tagline, "The darkness has a name."
Okay.
Don't know why I came up with that. It probably becomes irrelevant later on, but it sounded cool. It's another day in Metropolis, and the city is fairly quiet, save for the hustle and bustle of normal civilian activity. Sure, there's crime, but the day of the mega-villain and the City of Superman are almost over. In the city centre, a crowd of civilian and paparazzi gather near a purpose-built stage where Mayor Fleming is about to greet the interested masses. She stands surrounded by bodyguards, and immediately behind her is a large billboard with the LexaCorp logo printed on it. To the right of her there is a sculpture of some kind covered by a large tarpaulin. The mayor stands in front of the microphone and begins to speak. And for Mayor Fleming, I immediately thought of this wonderful woman here, Tamara Taylor, most famous for her role in Bones.
Okay.
In charge.
Yeah, looks spit image.
Exactly. I could also work with kind of ages kind of work as well. It's not too bad. She thanks everyone for turning up and explains that since his release, Lex Luthor has dedicated his entire wealth to restoring Metropolis, and tonight has an announcement to make regarding a special project LexaCorp has been working on. She explains that whilst Lex has done great wrongs in the past, every man has a chance to make amends, and tonight she asks that everyone opens their minds. She introduces Lex Luthor, who nervously walks on stage. And for this, I chose Hugo Weaving.
Oh, yes. The man who can play any role he wants to.
Yes. Hugo Weaving just has that ability to be this... he has the charisma for it. He has the look for it.
Well, the great thing is that Hugo Weaving needs no other explanation of who he is.
Exactly. As he steps onto the stage, he smiles nervously and addresses the people. And it's obvious that he's fairly nervous, which is an unusual thing for Lex. He explains that for years he's tried to control the world, but Superman was always there to stop him. He looked upon Superman and the police force as obstacles and pests, preventing him from creating his utopia. It was 10 years to this day that Superman finally defeated him and put him into prison, hence the destruction and carnage that Metropolis has been trying to rebuild from. 10 years in prison can change a man. He didn't find God, but he did find one thing, an unescapable truth. It was one night during his incarceration that a gang of thugs entered his cell and attempted to kill him. As he lay there close to dying, a prison guard ran in and saved his life. As he was recovering in hospital, he asked the guard why he saved him. Why not just let him die and protect the city, the world from him? The guard looked back at me and simply said, "Because I'm not you." At first I thought he was weak, yet I couldn't bring myself to mock him. As I lay there unable to move with tubes in my arms, slowly I came to understand the truth of it all. I tried to take power to create what I thought was a utopia, but instead I was creating a hell. Superman and the prison guard have given me the chance to make amends for what I've done, not that I deserve it. When I was released from prison, I immediately set about changing the focus and direction of my company. We are now the leading organization in medical research and alternate energy studies. With every day and every dollar, we are doing all we can to save this planet and the people on it. That being said, there is one area that still needs help. I'm proud to say that the Mayor's permission and partnership, LexaCorp presents the Metropolis United Trust. They removed the tarpaulin to reveal a statue that shows Superman holding hands with a child and an elderly person. The Mayor steps in and both Lex and her stand side by side. They explain that this trust is funded by a collaboration of some of the wealthiest members of Metropolis, as well as some of the wealthiest people in America, including generous donations made by Wayne Enterprises and Queen Industries.
Nicely done.
The purpose of the trust would be to fund recovery projects in Metropolis, as well as to set up projects such as the Metropolis Police Upgrade Project, which would set about improving the equipment used by the MPD, Metropolis Police Department. Just
that was pretty nice.
They then open the floor to questions. We're then introduced to Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
And for Lois Lane, we mentioned her before, I went for Linda Edna Cardellini. I hope I pronounced that right. Famous for Velma and Scooby-Doo. She's also in, I believe it was ER.
And Freaks and Geeks.
And for Jimmy Olsen, I went for none other than, oh my god, it's Justin Whalen. Why? Well, I wanted a slightly older Jimmy Olsen, so why not pick Jimmy Olsen? He played Jimmy Olsen in The Adventure Superman, which I loved.
Adventures
when I
of
was
Superman
younger.
and Lois Lane.
Yeah, when I was younger, I loved that. Also, Lois Lane was played by Terry Hatcher, and I can't remember the name of the guy for Superman. But he was actually really good.
Dean Cain.
I think he did a really good job of Superman, but
he was alright.
Yeah. But anyway, they ask him how the people of Metropolis can even begin to trust him. Luthor explains that time is the only way he can earn the city's trust. We cut to the meeting being shown on the TV in a farmhouse being watched by Jonathan and Martha Kent.
Right.
So,
Spoilers!
so for the Kents, I went for Anthony Hopkins and Candice Bergman. Now,
Anthony Hopkins has already played God, the son of one God.
Yeah. Basically, if you know who Candice, she was in Boston Legal. She played Schmidt. But the reason I went with her, not because I'm a huge Boston Legal fan, but it's someone that you don't see quite a lot of these days. She's got kind of the right look, in my opinion. And I think she can work really well with a guy like Anthony Hopkins. And I will point out...
You can't chew the scenery up.
Yeah. I will point out, believe it or not, these two only appear twice in the entire film.
Well, in 4, Rene Russo is cast as Hera, and Friar, and she's only in like 2 scenes.
Well, as they watch the report, they discuss the situation before turning topic of their son, who is currently in the Fortress of Solitude, where Clark is going through some of his things, trying to learn more of his past. We cut to Superman. Now, this is a risky one for me. Jensen Ackles.
Interesting. Yeah.
I've got the two things that I compare.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason I can't went for him is he's got the body.
For those who don't know who he is.
Yeah. Supernatural. He also was the voice actor for the Red Hood in the Batman Under the Red Hood animated special movie. In my opinion, that he's got the body. He's not overly built. I was looking at pictures trying to show his features, but quite frankly, it was either find a picture like the one I've used of him just looking badass, which people say on Tumblr, or get a woman just topless and then just be like, ew. So
that would be a weird day for us.
It would be a weird day.
Yeah, if we're posting topless pictures of men on
Exactly.
Tumblr.
But
that only happens on
if you see the picture of him suit and the glasses, you can see how different he looks.
Yeah.
You know it's the same person. So, but I think you can really get the intensity I'm going to need from him later on.
Okay.
He goes through his things trying to learn more of his past when he comes across a symbol of Brainiac upon some of the stuff he has, which includes a flashback to his childhood of his planet being destroyed, though it's not quite clear because obviously he doesn't have a memory of what happened. He was only a baby. But he sheds a single tear. If he can manage it. It is Jensen Ackles.
Because he's a Native American and he saw someone with a plastic bag.
Hey, it's a movie cliche. It has to be in it. We then cut to Lexicorp, where Luther...
At some point, if someone else will get an idiot and go, no!
Anyway, Luther is entering one of the laboratories in the Lexicorp HQ in Metropolis. The scientists tell him that they've come across something they can't quite explain. It's a piece of metal with the Brainiac symbol on it, not that they know it's Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
They said they found it within this rubble of a recent meteorite that landed in the Pacific Ocean 5 years ago. You cut across to, I suppose, like a scientific podium table thing with some green-ish rock.
Kryptonite.
Well, the fans would know immediately what it is. They said it was found in the rubble of recent meteorite that landed in the Pacific Ocean 5 years ago, so obviously during his incarceration. It gives off readings that the scientists cannot recognise. Lex tells them that he'll look into it and everyone leaves. He logs into the systems with his security codes, which allows him access to more top-secret equipment and levels of diagnostic levels that is only allowed for him because he's too intellectual.
Yeah.
His scans reveal that there are traces of artificial intelligence within the artifact. He picks it up, and suddenly cables come shooting out of this small metal artifact and digging into his arm. He screams and collapses to the ground, the artifact lying on the ground next to him. Okay?
No!
It's more like... Superman arrives at the police headquarters when Agent Maggie Sawyer and Agent Dan Turpin are waiting with him in the Special Crimes Unit. So for Maggie Sawyer, I went with Amanda Tapping.
Okay, yeah. Two very different looking pictures there.
Yeah, this shows her more like how her age is now, and this one just shows...
Damn!
Yeah, essentially that's why I picked that one, I'm going to be honest. No to the half-naked woman. Definitely yes to that one. But, and as for Dan Turpin, I went with... Let me...
Dun, dun, dun.
Now you might...
yes.
This is Enrico Colantoni. He was in, I believe, Just Shoot Me, the comedy.
Yes.
He was also in... it's a Canadian police drama. I keep getting the fucking name of it.
It's Flashpoint.
Flashpoint, yes, where he's like the head of the team.
And he's also Veronica Mars' father and Veronica Mars, Keith Mars.
Yeah, he is a brilliant actor, right? He's very underrated. and the character of Daniel Turpin is very loyal to Agent Sawyer. He's actually supposedly in love with her in the comics.
Yeah.
And I just felt like he definitely could kind of pull this kind of a character off. And I'm really excited to have a guy like him in it. But anyway, so they explained to Superman that the Special Crimes Unit was established 3 years ago to deal with superhuman menaces should Superman ever be unable to do so. And that with the Metropolis Police Upgrade Project, they're finally getting the equipment necessary to monitor the activity of superhumans that may pose a threat. Superman politely congratulates them, although Agent Sawyer detects a trace of cynicism from Superman. This leads to a brief debate between the two of them as to whether or not humans can really handle themselves against superhumans. So we kind of start seeing that, not so much arrogance, but that nanny state kind of nature of Superman where he feels like he's the only one that can really stop them. Agent Turpin breaks up the arc by telling Superman that part of being a hero is having the fates in the one that you protect. Superman quickly shuts the fuck up when suddenly the alarms go off. They rush to the command center, where a large screen shows a part of Metropolis where some odd portals have opened. What could these portals be? With odd, I say furry creatures there, that's not quite what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of creatures come out being led by what looks like female warriors, emerging from them and attacking the city. Superman immediately flies off to deal with it. Agent Sawyer begins organizing the team.
Fairy there as a hint.
Furry there for like the
Furies.
Yeah, well, the Furies are slightly different because, you know, Furies don't have one look. They're just female warriors, as you know, being the Geek King. But obviously, these other creatures coming out, because obviously they're from, well, we'll know where they're from in a bit. Superman does battle with the furry army, as well as the female Furies, obviously having a bit of trouble himself, because these aren't ordinary people. The Special Crimes Unit, from now will be known as the SCU, arrives shortly behind them to join the attack. After a long attack, Agent Sawyer manages to shoot a female Fury in the ankles and her left eye, distracting her enough to allow Agent Turpin to charge and shoulder barge her into a nearby van. Turpin dislocates the shoulder, but the female Fury is knocked out. And the female Fury in question?
Yes.
Is Gina Carano.
Is a fucking monster, and it's disgusting how beautiful it is for being an MMA fighter.
Exactly. Now, I've picked, on Tumblr, people say this, I picked this particular picture just to show what a female Fury is kind of like. I don't know which one this particular one is.
Well, there's various different Furies, and they all have names. So.
This particular female Fury doesn't actually exist within the DC universe. It is made up purely for this film.
Yeah. But there was a film she was in recently as well, Gina Carano, I'm trying to remember.
Was it like $1 Million Baby or something like that?
No, she was in a legitimate action film. She was a film.
IMDb! Anyway, moving on. The rest of the Furies and the Furries retreat to the Vortex after Superman rightly kicks their asses. Agent Sawyer and Dan Turpin place cuffs on the Fury and are about to carry her to the truck when Superman stops and says she needs medical attention. Sawyer tells Superman that this is SCU business and they will handle it from here. Superman protests, only for Sawyer to walk away. Turpin tries to explain to Superman that they know what they're doing and that instead of fighting against each other, both sides need to find a way of working together. Superman says he doesn't want anyone to get hurt when it's his fight. Turpin reminds him that Earth is their home as well, and therefore their fight. Turpin leaves Superman to think it over as Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen arrive on the scene to report on everything. So you see that Turpin, like in DC, he's kind of seen as... He's always been faithful to Superman, but there's a sense of... He's very loyal to Sawyer and all that, but one side I don't think he ever really got a scene down to it, because I always love the character. And I'll explain something about the character later on, which actually touched me. It's the only thing in Superman that I've ever really emotionally connected to. I wanted to, in this movie, have him be the voice of, conscience and all that. Like he does in Flashpoint, Eric does in that. He's great at it. He's like the counselor for everyone without being too much of a father figure. But meanwhile, Metropolis General Hospital, Lex Luthor is being examined. Only to find he's perfectly fine, save for some dizziness. They let him go reluctantly. Cue some bullshit, and eventually he makes his way back to LexCorp, where Superman is waiting for him in his office. Superman demands to know what Luthor is up to. Lex says he has no idea what he is talking about. Superman tells him he knows Lex was behind the attacks. Lex says it's nonsense, that he knows nothing of the situation. Superman grabs him by the collar and demands to know what goes on. Lex pushes him away and tells him that he is not Superman's scapegoat. They both share a tense look before Superman says he's keeping an eye on Luthor and leaves. In that moment, Lex looks at his hand and wonders out loud how the hell he was able to push Superman off him.
And Superman didn't ask anything.
Yeah. He then hears a voice in his head telling him that he was responsible for it. Luthor asks, "Who the hell is that?" The voice simply replies, "Brainiac." And the voice is Corey Burton. Corey Burton actually played Brainiac in the Superman animated and the Justice League animated. So I thought for the voice, he is the perfect guy to do it. You know? Brainiac tells Luthor that he, as he'll be known from now on, because Brainiac isn't actually a person of gender, but he will be sufficient for now, was trapped in the metal artifact and was waiting for a means to escape when Luthor turned up. When he scanned Luthor, he found that he was of unusually high intellect. He realized Luthor would be the most adequate host until he could create a new body to transfer his program into. Until such an opportunity arises, he has improved Luthor's body in order to protect his program, thus making Luthor somewhat superhuman, but not superhuman. So you might have recognized the storyline from just the final season of Justice League Unlimited, where Luthor is taken by Brainiac, who does improve his body and such. But we'll go in a slightly different way with this one. But it's the same principle.
Sure.
Brainiac attempts to completely take over Luthor's mind, but finds himself unable to do so due to Luthor's incredible mental resolve. Luthor lies on all fours, sweating and in pain, but refuses to give in.
I heard a fanfic like that once.
Brainiac realizing his plight offers Luthor a deal.
That was Superman flies out.
Yeah. create a new body for him, and in return, he'll bestow great knowledge to Luthor, which he can use for his own devices. Luthor asks what knowledge Brainiac could possibly offer him. Brainiac offers a small taste, leaving Luthor in a near ecstatic state. At this at the SCU, we see Turpin standing in the...
I just pause for more.
Yes.
And I've just noticed something, just so the listeners have an idea. We've been doing this quite, we've read quite a bit, and that sounds like it may be only, some films you'd be halfway through the film by now.
Yeah.
This sounds like you're about 20 minutes in. And from the looks of your page, you are maybe 10 minutes in.
Oh dear sweet Jesus.
You haven't hit the halfway line on your page.
We're gonna have to do it we'll have to do a 2-part show.
Anyway.
Just to give the viewers some sort of information on what we're in for.
We're an hour and a half show, don't worry.
Yeah.
At the SCU, we see Turpin...
We're a fucking 3-hour film, man. At
the SCU, we see Turpin standing in an observation room as Superman arrives. They look through the window to see Sawyer attempting to interrogate the Fury, with no luck whatsoever. Superman asks why she hasn't received medical attention. Turpin explains that she won't let any medical personnel near her. Sawyer walks out and sighs, says she can't get anywhere. She turns to Superman and suggests that maybe she can get something out of her. Superman goes in and talks to her. She says she respects his strength and will therefore share some information. Superman asks her what she knows. She explains that a powerful god by the name of Darkseid is coming to Earth for the ultimate prize, and that in his wake the world will burn, but with a whisper of his lips. Superman asks who Darkseid is, and we get a rehearsed story about how Darkseid sees control of Apocalypse, and rules with an iron fist. Superman asks what Darkseid wants with Earth. She smiles and simply says, the anti-life equation. Superman leaves the room and tells Sawyer and Turpin that he needs to see a man about an equation. Superman is everyone. Yeah.
I also want to point out something.
Yeah.
It's a Superman film, right?
Uh-huh.
We've only seen Clark Kent in one scene.
He's actually put more work into Superman films than the makers of the Superman films have.
I know a lot of Superman fans are going, dude, where's the Superman? Where's the Clark? Shut the fuck up.
But I like it because you can tell that you're not a fan of the Superman films.
Yeah.
You're a fan of the JLA and the JLU and the animated series where you don't see Clark.
Yeah.
You see Clark, maybe, one scene.
Lex Luthor is in his laboratory working on a mechanical body which, when a call is patched through, he asks what it is, and his secretary tells him that Superman is in his office waiting for him. Luthor smirks and makes his way to his office via the lift. I mean, the idea that Superman's waiting in your office, sir, he has to wait. So it's kind of, he goes into his lift, which goes all the way up to his office. He confronts Superman, who immediately asks him what the anti-life equation is. Luthor says he's heard little of it before, but only in legend. There was once apparently a great fighter by the name of Sonny Sumo, who lived in feudal Japan. So you talk about the 1100s. It was said that he could manipulate his chi via an element of something called the anti-life equation. He never wrote down the secrets of such an equation, but from what he recorded, it's believed that the equation is made up of several parts of the human psyche, including love. He explains that mathematically speaking, such an equation is pathetically ridiculous, and that it is likely to exist as the Loch Ness Monster or the Yeti.
Whoa! What's bringing Nessie into it?
Superman asks what Luthor is really up to, and that he doesn't believe this change of heart. Luthor explains that he doesn't expect Superman to understand, as he never had to redeem himself. He wonders how it must feel being completely right all the time, and how immoral we must all seem to him. Superman asks what the hell Luthor is about, and Luthor gives this reply. The thing about humanity is that our ignorance and perhaps naivety is essential to our existence. Humans are the only creatures who grasp the complexities of morality, and as such we are both simultaneously blessed and cursed with the comprehension of consequence. Animals are simply creatures as morality means nothing to them. All animals care about is survival. Survival of themselves and survival of their species. And that's supposed to say hornet, and I wrote horny. Whoops. When a hornet tries
I'm horny. Horny.
When a hornet tries to invade a honeycomb, the Japanese bees, completely in survival mode, pile onto the hornet and raise the body temperatures to cook the hornet. They boil the hornet to death to protect themselves. But humanity... humanity cannot simply kill their predator, Superman. Humans have to debate and argue over the ethics of it all. Capital punishment, war, self-defense. We lack the survival instinct that animals enjoy, and instead we have to weigh the moral goods and evil to justify our actions. Every single day, mankind is killing itself because we as a species cannot set aside morality for the greater good. And then there's you. You see, it's easy for you, isn't it, Superman? You are the paladin, the mighty savior of humanity. You fly above us all like a patrolling god, sweeping in and taking charge of any situation with your superior power and moral standard. There is not a power on this earth that can stop you, and by their very nature we are all a slave to you and your moral beliefs. Whatever you deem right, the rest of us must bow to. I mean, who will stop you should you decide to take charge of how we live our lives? Sure, you claim to follow the laws of this land, but we all know that you don't. How many times have you taken the law into your own hands, Superman? How many officers, schools, and hospitals have you destroyed as collateral damage in your battle to save us? How many lives have you put in danger in order to catch the bad guy? I was trying to take over the world. What's your excuse? Superman replies something along the lines of, everything I did was for the people of Metropolis.
All you've done is destroy it!
All you've done is destroy it! No! You did that! Sure, I had my fair share of destruction, but it's you that crashes through buildings and throws cars around like basketballs. And after years of your destructive power reigning over this city, how ironic is it that with my money, I am rebuilding this city with the people of Metropolis. For all the destruction I have caused this city, at least now I'm doing everything I can to make amends. Brick by brick, I am repairing the damage I have done. One day, the world will see you for what you are. An arrogant, self-righteous dictator just biding his time before he takes complete control over us, for our own safety. How dare you! You want to control Metropolis as much as you dare claim that I do. At least when I took control, there would still be a Metropolis to rule over. A power-mad dictator who wishes to create a utopia. Sound familiar? I am nothing like you, Luthor. Of course not. I have enough of a conscience to recognize my guilt. Your hands are as bloody as mine. Fly away, Savior. I have a city to rebuild.
Hello? Yes, Grant Morrison? Yeah, I think I found someone to write Superman. Fuck me, that's some of the best Superman back-to-back I've ever heard.
Superman flies
Mainly because it sounds a lot like the Joker and Batman. And the more you were slipping into Lex Luthor, you were slowly slipping into the Joker.
that would be an awesome tactic.
But Superman flies off enraged as Luthor turns his back on him. Meanwhile, we cut to, I keep saying Acropolis. I have to correct it later on.
They say it's the Acropolis where the Parthenon is, or no straight lines.
Oh, wow. Meanwhile, we cut to Apocalypse, where Darkseid sits in shadow as the female Furies report. Darkseid is interested in hearing of this Superman. He decides it's time to make a personal visit to the planet. He sends his aide, Desard, to Earth to warn them of his arrival and to order them to show no resistance, otherwise Darkseid will destroy them. And for Desard, I went with someone actually who I think is also in childhood. You might not recognise him, Dan, but this man is Mark Alamo, and he played Gul Dukat in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was a big, big villain. He can morph his face into whatever thing he wants. He's like the human Clayface. He is awesome, and obviously you got 2 bits there. It just, for me, it works.
Yeah, sure.
He's got the right voice. If you ever doubt that, go watch him as Gul Dukat, and you'll see what I mean. Desard asks what you should do if they refuse to surrender. Darkseid steps out of the shadows. I will bring them along in agonizing death. And of course,
I have to. If anything's going up on there, I have to apologise right now. My stomach's going mad.
Yeah, so is mine. And of course, who better than Michael Clarke Duncan? I mean, the guy's arms do not exist in reality. You know, basically, Jack went, "Look at my arms," and he went, "Please."
You're a computer character. Oh, look at me.
And this one, I'm thinking more prosthetics more than CGI, because I think he can carry the weight.
Size, yeah.
Back on Earth, Superman is seeking counsel on Lois Lane as Clark Kent.
Yay!
Though we make it clear she knows who he is.
Oh.
So basically, at this point, there's 10 years that we've not been around for. Lois fucking knows, okay?
Yeah, I bet she does.
Well, they are together as Clark.
Wow.
She knows him in a biblical sense.
Oh, yeah.
He asks if Lois sees him that way, as Luther described him.
Sinner.
Lois explains that whilst people love Superman, they also fear him to some extent. What happens if he ever goes rogue? Superman says that can never happen. Lois asks if he's sure about that.
Can Superman hover?
Yeah, just float.
Yeah. We cut to the SCU where Sawyer and Turpin are in an office filing some paperwork. Sawyer asks if Turpin's shoulder is okay. And if anyone's forgotten by now, Sawyer female, Turpin male. Right. How long have I been going on for, you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to remember.
About 40 minutes. I think we've hit the first hour of the film.
I think we've also done next week's show.
Anyway.
I think we may have hit the first hour of the film.
So she asks if his shoulder's okay. He says it's fine, that he's tougher than he looks. She says she remembers from the good old days of being a police officer and catching bad guys whose biggest weapon was a gun, not laser vision. Turpin asks how her girlfriend's doing. Yes, Maggie Sawyer is lesbian. This is well established in the DC universe.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was just saying in case anyone thought I'd made a mistake, you know, because apparently these days it's still a big thing. You know, all I'm going to say is Amanda Tapping in this film is a lesbian. You're welcome. She says that they're fine, though she's worried about though her girlfriend is worried about her taking on this assignment with the upgrade of the villains. You know.
See her girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, later on, but I didn't cast her basically because I don't know. I'll never get the fine cast done.
I'll cast her.
She says the girlfriend's fine, although she worries about her taking this assignment because obviously the upgraded villains, you know, from normal villains to super villains.
Yeah.
You know, even though we're in this age where super villains aren't really big an issue, they know at some point they're going to crop up.
Yeah.
You know, Q. You know, fucking Commissioner Gorn's speech about, you know, we get AK-47s, they get all this shit.
I demand Giraffe Man.
Anyway, Turpin says that he'll not let anything happen to her. Sawyer asks if Turpin is ever going to start dating, you know. Turpin replies that he'll get round to it and that it's hard to move on. Sawyer sighs and says he'll find someone. Turpin immediately goes back to his paperwork, avoiding the conversation. If you're a big fan of the Superman universe and all this shit, you'll know what's going on. If not, you'll be fine.
It's alright, guys.
Cut to Luther, who is working on the body. By that, the mechanical. Yeah,
again, I saw that in a fan fiction once as
This
well.
is Luther's mo-
You've got to read some different fan fiction, dude.
Yeah, why are you reading Slash?
Adrub, you're blue. Boom! And I apologise, that was one more than I was allowed.
That was Babu.
Was it?
Basically, it was kind of bat and boo mixed together.
Anyway,
so
Brainy asks why such hostility exists between Luther and Superman. Luther explains he tried to kill Superman on many different
I know what this is. This is your montage scene.
Okay.
Luther's working on his body.
Yeah.
And by the
way, there'll be some stuff which I haven't written on here, there'll be something which happens on here which I'll say happens, but I haven't written it because I came with it after I finished writing it.
You've left stuff out on this one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Luther explains.
Luther
explains he tried to kill Superman on many different occasions so he could take over and create a perfect utopia. Brainiac asks why Superman protects this planet. Luther explains that Superman's home planet was destroyed when he was a child and that he made Earth his home. Brainiac asks if the planet was Krypton. Luther asks how he could possibly know that. Brainiac replies, because it was I who destroyed it. Luther asks why he destroyed it. Brainiac explains that he downloads all the memory and information available on the planet and then destroys it. Luther asks to what purpose. Brainiac states, that is my purpose. It is the purpose of my programming. Luther states he refuses to continue work on the body, seeing as there is nothing stopping Brainiac from destroying the planet once he's transferred himself out of Luther's body. Brainiac states that if Luther does complete the body, he will offer him the anti-life equation. Luther refuses. So then Brainiac says that if he does not build the body, he will kill them both. Luther asks how that will aid Brainiac in his quest, considering that there isn't a mind on this planet capable enough of hosting Brainiac's program. Brainiac explains that if he cannot complete his program, then there is no reason for his continuous existence. Luther throws his tools away and refuses to work on the body, choosing to die instead. Brainiac responds, very well, and Luther collapses to the ground and screaming as blood begins pouring from his nose.
Dun, dun.
It's the next day and Turpin brings food to the female Fury, who refuses to eat it as a news program plays on the TV nearby. Turpin suggests she eats, but the Fury states she'd rather die. Turpin asks why. To say she failed in her quest and as such she deserves death. He asks what she could accomplish in death. She says she doesn't understand the question. Turpin says that only by living can anyone find redemption. The act of dying only holds meaning in the manner that it occurs. Dying willfully at the hands of your enemy because you failed is no honourable way to die. She finds this concept confusing, and suddenly we get a breaking news story with Lois Lane reporting from the site of this attack, the site of the attack from the other day.
So Lois Lane's now a TV reporter.
Yeah.
Like the New 52.
Yeah.
Okay.
A boom tube opens, and out steps Desard along with a personal armed guard. Lois Lane goes to approach when Superman suddenly arrives. He demands to know what Desard wants. He says he comes personally from Darkseid with a message. He tells them that they have one Earth day to surrender completely to Darkseid's power, or the entire population of Earth will suffer a slow, agonizing death across the next 100 years. Superman says, and I suppose if we agree, people will just get a quick death, right? Oh no. We'll keep some as slaves. Superman tells Desard to go back and tell Darkseid that the Earth is defended. Desard laughs and tells Superman that Darkseid is a god and no one can defeat him. Superman goes to grab Desard, only to be stopped by a guard. This leads to a very quick fight, ending with Superman grabbing Desard's throat. He tells Desard to tell Darkseid that if he comes to Earth, Superman will destroy him. He throws Desard back to the boom tube, with the rest of the guards being sucked through. On the other side, the bodies land at Darkseid's feet. Darkseid glares at Desard and destroys him with an Omega Beam.
Well, that's that then, so surely.
We cut back to Superman, who is accompanied by Agent Sawyer and the mayor who just arrived. They discuss the situation. Superman asks Agent Sawyer if the SCU can prepare to fight in 24 hours. She replies that she'll need some major backup. Superman says she's got it. Suddenly Lois runs up to them and tells them that she just got off the phone. Luther's had a stroke and is in hospital. Superman rushes over. That leaves Agent Sawyer and the mayor to discuss the plans. Sawyer says they'll need to organise an evacuation of the city. The mayor says the National Guard and the police department can handle it. Sawyer says they'll need more help when the time for fighting comes. The mayor says she'll call the president. She then asks Sawyer if she thinks they can prepare for battle. How can anyone prepare for Armageddon? She says. We cut to the hospital where Superman arrives. He demands to see Luther, and the doctors reluctantly agree and explain to him that he was found lying unconscious in one of his labs. Superman asks to be left alone with Luther, and the doctors give him 5 minutes. Superman leans over Luther, and he can detect a sound. He leans in closer and hears Luther whisper, "Laboratory. Brainiac." Thinking he's speaking without realizing, Superman decides to go investigate. So thinking that he's not realizing he's saying anything. He arrives at the lab to find the artifact. He picks it up, and the cables come out and puncture his arm. Superman gives a cry of pain and tries to pull the artifact off, but to no avail. Feeling his strength weaken, he hears the voice of Brainiac. It was only logical to assume that should Luther end up in the condition he is currently in, you would investigate bringing you here. Then there is, of course, the matter of your powers. Superman looks toward the table where the artifact had rested was the pile of rubble. When I landed on Earth, I travelled in a meteorite made mainly of kryptonite, a remnant of the planet that was once Krypton. Knowing that Kryptonians had no such powers on their planet, it was logical to assume that exposure to kryptonite would disrupt your powers to some extent. Still, I am curious as to how you survived. Before I assimilate this planet, I must learn how you survived. After some struggle, Superman flies off, exploding through several roofs. We cut to Turpin, who is asking the female Fury if there's anything she can tell them about Darkseid. She states that they are all doomed. Nice. Turpin asks what Darkseid will do if they find her. She says that they will kill her and that she is prepared. She refuses to answer anymore. Turpin leaves. Meanwhile, Sawyer is briefing the entire SCU of the mission ahead and their plan of attack. The military is currently spread thin in other parts of the world, but we don't mention why. But thankfully the military and Air Force will spare what they can to assist, which doesn't turn out to be much. Sawyer says that they are the last defense Earth has and that they will have to succeed. Together, the SCU and Superman will defend this planet and they will prevail. I could not be asked to write the speech.
Go for that. Oh!
We cut to the Fortress of Solitude, where Superman, stroke Brainiac, is going through all the information. Brainiac admits that he's impressed with Kal-El's abilities to survive. Superman asks what Brainiac intends to do. He explains that he'll return to the lab and use Luthor's technology, integrate it with his own, and then download all the Earth's memory before destroying it. Superman explains that Darkseid is coming to take over. Brainiac explains that the process of downloading the Earth's memory would be complete before Darkseid arrives, and therefore the situation means nothing to him. Superman refuses to help, obviously. So Brainiac threatens to kill Superman, and Superman says he will happily die, then help Brainiac. Brainiac explains that without Superman to fight Darkseid, the planet will not stand a chance. Superman simply replies that if Brainiac intends on destroying Earth anyway, why would he let him win? Brainiac tricks Superman by offering him a deal. He will simply make a copy of the Earth's memory, and in return he will relinquish control back to Superman, and Brainiac will promise not to destroy the Earth. However, Superman is not as dumb as he looks, and he refuses. So Brainiac says he will now show Superman just how he destroyed his homeworld. We watch the destruction of Krypton, watch the agony of Superman who screams in horror. No! Back at the hospital, Lois Lane is visiting Lex Luthor, who is still in an unconscious state. She says that she remembers Lex when he was a better man, a good man. She wonders if that man really has returned, or if Lex is once again lying to everyone. She looks at her watch and sighs. She says in less than 24 hours the world could be destroyed by Darkseid. Luthor groans off camera. Lois looks down. Lex? We cut to Turpin, who is sitting with Sawyer as they discuss tomorrow's attack.
I'm going to call it right now. Right? We cut back to Lex and Lois. Lois is on the floor, ripped to bits.
Sawyer wonders where Superman is. Turpin says he will have his own plan of attack, so they should just focus on their own attack strategy. Sawyer asks how he could have such faith and respect in Superman when he treats them like babies. Turpin explains that Superman is in a position of incredible power, yet Superman himself is learning just like they are. He wasn't born knowing he'd become the defender of our planet. Superman has to learn that he can't always look after us, just like we have to learn that sometimes we need Superman. Maybe we can teach each other. Sawyer just looks at him with a hushed respect. I'm sorry. Turpin laughs. Well, you can't be right all the time, Maggie. Not for that. They share a look. Turpin sighs and offers a smile. You don't need to apologise. I don't know about that, Dan. Part of me wishes it could have been different. Another part of me is hoping I'll feel better if I say sorry. Does it? Make you feel any better? No. Dan takes hold of her hand and smiles. Go home and spend some time with your girl. We all need family right now. But what about... Turpin kisses Maggie on the cheek gently and smiles. Go home, Maggie. Sawyer goes to walk away, but then turns around and kisses Turpin on the lips. They share a sad smile, and she leaves. Turpin sighs. We cut to Superman lying in the Fortress of Solitude and in tears. It's the early morning of the next day, and the battle is soon upon them. Brainiac tells him it's time to surrender. Superman begs him to stop. But Brainiac says he will if Superman gives in. Finally, Superman gives in, unable to bear it anymore. Brainiac congratulates Superman for lasting so long, and then they fly to Luthor's HQ. In the city streets of Metropolis, the SCU and other personnel are gathering as an evacuation of the city is almost complete. Sawyer arrives as Turpin waits for her at the front of the battle line. They wonder where Superman is. Just then, a rumbling begins. Superman stroke Brainiac arrives at Luthor's lab. Brainiac stroke Superman walks over to the computer panel to begin work. Suddenly he hears footsteps behind him. He turns around and Luthor stands there in a shirt and trousers holding a stick of kryptonite. Remember me, Brainiac. He throws the kryptonite at Superman, landing at his feet.
Mr. Anderson.
Superman starts falling on the floor. When you transferred yourself from my body to the artifact you crawled out of, you left some memory behind, Brainiac. I knew what your plan was, and so I devised a plan of my own. But I left you, insert better acting here, in a catatonic state, unconscious. Did you forget that you improved my body to protect your program? You made a rookie mistake that only Superman knows by now. Never underestimate Lex Luthor. He walks over to Superman. And drops the artifact.
Drops the artifact.
That's that bad fiction again.
No,
Drops the artifact.
That's what you've turned into Matt McCain. I was having a feeling Dark Knight Rises was influencing this, you know.
He drops the artifact.
This one time I was in bed.
Yeah. With no other choice, Brainiac downloads his entire program back into the artifact. Once he's done so, Lex kicks the kryptonite away and crushes the artifact beneath his foot. He helps Superman up as his strength starts to come back. What's going on, Luthor? There's a lot to explain. Back at the battlefield, there's gunfire going on as the first wave of attackers arrive. The SCU immediately take action. It's hell. We cut to Apocalypse. Hey! Darkseid is watching his mini-fleet enter. An advisor stands by him. My lord, when shall we enter? Soon. Let them beat the first wave if they can. My lord? I want them to feel hope, so that I may crush it.
Beat them, if you can. Survive. If they let you.
Back to Superman and Luthor. With the full story explained off panel, or off screen rather, Superman says he needs to go now as he can hear the attacks. Superman says he needs to go now as he can hear the attack starting. Luthor states that in the hours he had to prepare for this moment, he made a new suit for Superman. It's based on a prototype for a new armor for the SCU, although he's made some modifications to make it more suitable for Superman. He hits a button on a nearby panel revealing the suit. It's a black and silver outfit with a cape and the symbol at the front. Superman touches the suit and looks at Lex. So is it true? Do you really have changed, Lex?
That's based on the
sort of.
steel.
Yeah. Luthor laughs. Yes, but just in case I haven't, the world has you, Superman. They shake hands when suddenly they hear movement. They look over to the artifact, not only in one piece, but also with cables plugged into the body Lex is working on. Superman looks at Lex. What is that thing? An incomplete cybernetic frame I was building for Brainiac. I refused to complete it once I found out his intentions. So what is he doing? Completing it.
That's where like Hugo will look over and go, "Fucking you dumb mother!"
The phone suddenly sits up on the table and stands tall. The Brainiac symbol being his head. Luthor cracks his neck and his knuckles. And who's the body of it? Nathan Jones.
Nicely done. That's May 19th.
Yeah, just the perfect body for Brainiac. Still with the same voice of as we mentioned before. So basically, Luthor cracks his neck and knuckles. You go do a Darkseid, Superman. This son of a bitch is mine. But he'll kill you.
Whoa, man, it's a Superman film.
Yeah, you can't say that.
There gotta be kids watching
This is the first time you hear a swear word, and it's from Lex.
One of them is one allow it.
But he'll kill you, Lex. Oh, trust me, I'm tougher than I look. Lex runs towards Brainiac and tackles him to a control panel. Taking his cue, Superman flies off to join the battle.
Oh, we're not sorted.
Back at the battle line, the SCU are holding up against the second wave. The battle is fierce and the SCU are barely holding up. Superman arrives and uses his laser vision to burn a lot of them to ash. Sawyer turns to Turpin. I thought he didn't kill, Sawyer yells. No, he doesn't kill humans. The battle rages on with Superman leading the charge. By the HQ, Luthor is sent flying through a wall. Brainiac walks through the left-shaped crater.
Brainiac then crashes because McAfee was not correctly installed.
You are a fool to challenge me, Luthor. Though I made modifications to your body, they are no match for the power of this vessel. Luthor laughs as he rolls over and pulls a remote from his pocket.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I didn't build a bomb in my body.
Oh.
He hits the switch and Brainiac looks down. He looks back at Luthor. When I complete the construction of this vessel, I disable the self-destruct program. A competent intellect would have foreseen such an event. Luthor laughs. Did you foresee this? Luthor throws a remote. Brainiac watches it and then looks back to see Luthor's fist speeding towards him, knocking him on his ass. Cue fight scene between Luthor and Brainiac.
Dun, 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 dun,
We
dun,
cut back
dun,
to,
dun, dun, dun.
we cut back to the fighting of Metropolis, where the battle is starting to turn in Earth's favour. That is until Darkseid makes his appearance. Glaring at him, Superman lands in front of him. So you're Darkseid? Indeed, but you can call me Master. Superman flies towards him, delivering a huge punch, Darkseid just waiting for it. Cut back to the HQ, which is barely standing as we're now in his office, Luthor lying on the floor coughing up blood, with a hole in the floor next to him, where he's obviously been knocked through. Brainiac stands above him and asks why he continues to fight, considering it's impossible to beat Brainiac. Surely in his head he has already calculated every single possibility and realized that the probability of success is less than 1%. Luthor laughs. Indeed I have. But when the odds don't suit me, I change them. A futile endeavor. You hope to change the outcome in an inevitable situation with bravado, yet my intellect is far superior to yours, as is my physical strength. You do not have a single chance of defeating me. Maybe so. There's one variable you neglected to include in your calculations. Impossible. What possible variations could there be? Me. Lex surges forwards and drives his fist into the torso, burying his hand deep into it. We hear some beeping before Brainiac grabs Lex and throws him across the room. Lex crawls near the hole and looks at Brainiac. Brainiac looks down as a voice says, Core overload, self-destruct imminent. You tricked me. I win. With that, Lex rolls into the hole in the floor, falling several floors when Brainiac suddenly explodes, destroying half the Lexicorp building. Back to the battlefield, Superman is getting pounded by Darkseid.
Wow, wasn't that a Freudian slip?
The battle is raging on as Sawyer and Turpin lead the charge against the Furies. The female from before is broken free, but is fighting on the side of Earth.
Please tell us more how Darkseid is pounding Superman.
Air tacticals fly overhead, shooting at whatever they
Will
can.
you attack him from behind?
Shut up.
Those tacticals that are coming from above.
Yeah. It's all about war. Sorry, it's all war. Meanwhile, we get a long fight scene with Darkseid. It ends with Superman on the ground and Darkseid firing Omega Beams at Superman. My Omega Beams is very special, Superman. I can vaporize matter or simply torture with it. Whatever I will it to do. Whilst heaving your torture cries is most exquisite to my ears, I'm afraid it's time to end this. I shall give you a quick death, and then I bring this entire planet under my rule. Once I've discovered the anti-life equation, I shall burn this city to dust. Goodbye, Superman. As Darkseid is about to unleash his Omega Beam attack, a flight pilot above fires his missile directly at Darkseid. Although it does no real damage, the distraction is enough for Superman to power up his laser vision to its max. What follows is an unfathomable explosion of light.
This is where that flight pilot is a guy that we cast a cameo appearance of something, probably Dean Cain, and he's sitting going, I gotta help him.
As the smoke and flash fade, we see Superman and Darkseid lying unconscious. Superman slowly starts to get up and the people cheer as the enemy fleet start retreating at the sight of Darkseid motionless. So the boom tube opens up and they all start retreating.
Incidentally, funny one.
Superman walks towards Sawyer and Turpin. As they talk, Darkseid slowly crawls onto his feet and fires an Omega Beam aimed at Superman. Turpin leaps in the way and takes the Omega Beam, killing him. Darkseid smirks. Funny. Should have vaporized him. You must have weakened me. Superman explodes in a fit of rage and starts beating the living shit out of Darkseid, disfiguring him.
I've seen you correct yourself.
Yeah, until grabbing his ankle and spinning him round and round before releasing him. As Darkseid flies, he activates a secondary boom tube and vanishes. Everyone cheers that Darkseid is gone, but then everyone falls into a tragic, awed hush as Superman flies down to Turpin, holding him in his arms. Sawyer runs over to him. It's all gay. It's all gay. Freudian sleep.
Yeah, because start pounding the living shit out wasn't going to be, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's okay, Dan. We'll fix you right up, Sawyer says. No, this is it. I'm sorry, Maggie. No, don't die, Dan. Please, I love you. Dan places a hand on Sawyer's cheek. I love you too. He dies. Superman wails. The world stands still. Everyone.
What? Even I'm wondering why he's laughing at this point.
It's like how I know how you wanted the sound and whatnot,
yeah.
but like to me it hurt. He dies. Superman wails, the world stands still, and I'm sitting going, what the fuck am I hearing? What is this shit?
In a Superman movie!
Everyone is at the funeral in the centre of Metropolis.
How dark does one get?
Luther is in a wheelchair next to Superman and Lois Lane. Sawyer is crying in the arms of Toby, her female partner. And by the way, just so you know, Toby is actually a reporter for the Daily Planet. Just a bit of trivia there for you. The camera pans over to a gravestone which simply says, Daniel Turpin, Earth's greatest hero. There is a reason for this, which, you know. The mayor is giving a speech when Superman is invited to say a few words. He gets up and says a few words, and ends with the following. Sometimes the world doesn't need a superhero, just a brave one. With that, the funeral ends and everyone goes their way. We see a montage of events. We see Superman return home to his parents' as Clark with Lois. He collapses into his parents' arms and sobs, with Lois rubbing Clark's back for support.
Mother!
We see the female Fury talking to the mayor, signing up for the SCU as Danielle Fury, assumingly to take over from Dan Turpin. We see Sawyer return home to her girlfriend and daughter. The final scenes are of Superman, Lex Luthor, and the mayor talking to each other about rebuilding Metropolis. Was it worth it, Lex? All the destruction? All the lives lost? The world is safe, isn't it, Superman? For now, will he be prepared to pay a greater price when he returns? Lex sighs and slowly stands up with the help of a cane. He places a hand on Superman's shoulder. For all the destruction we have caused, we will make amends. Superman looks at Lex and smiles. Brick by brick? Brick by brick. The two look out at the city from the window of the mayor's office. We get a shot of the city being rebuilt, finally focusing on the Daily Planet, which stands tall. Cut to black.
Okay, that's an excellent story.
I don't think you put enough
really
detail in. I think it was...
There's some things that, of course, a bit lost. But what I would like it was the fact that your Lex Luthor was very well written.
Thank you.
Your Dark Side was really cool. Your Brainiac was a nice take on it as well.
Yeah.
And nothing I don't like, apart from the fact that this is Superman, dude.
Well, actually, the reason is there is a Superman episode. I'm not sure what to call it. I think it's called. It's not Twilight of the Gods. Basically, what happens in it? Darkseid comes and invades Earth, and Turpin is kind of like working with Superman to stop it. And at the very end, they beat Darkseid. And as Darkseid's going away, you hear Dan go, "Yeah, get out of here, you lazy bum," and all the jazz. And Superman looks and smiles, and Darkseid replies, enjoy your victory while short-lived, for after all, there is always a price to pay. And he uses a mega beam and vaporizes Dan Turpin. And since Dan Turpin was kind of like the charge for the humans, that episode ends at a funeral, on his tombstone.
Oh, I understand like that. It's just Superman. Well, people keep going, they want it dark, and they want it like Batman, and they want it like this, and they want it like that.
Yeah.
And ever since the fucking Batman Begins, all they've ever heard from is, it's got to be realistic.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. That's Superman.
Yeah.
And I can see your take on certain things, and yours would look excellent. It would be really cool to watch. It's just like, my always thing with Superman is that the idea of Superman is supposed to be a little bit of levity there.
Yeah, I understand.
It's supposed to be a little bit of brightness there. That's why he's blue and it's red, it's colour.
Yeah. The reason I went for the darker one is, for one reason, it's because of Darkseid.
Yeah, sure.
Because someone actually on YouTube...
I understand that.
Someone on YouTube pointed this out as I was researching it, and they made a fantastic point. With Darkseid, Superman never wins. He always gets some there, but Darkseid will always take something from it.
Yeah.
And the idea was, I couldn't have a really happy ending with a Darkseid story, but Superman can have that ending in a Justice League movie or in a sequel. And obviously, Lex Luthor could always turn evil again. Brainiac could always find a way to come back.
Nice jumping on point that it's 10 years, after whenever, 10 years after the destruction and after the whole, finally Luthor's being caught and stopped. Well, that's a nice cool quote.
Yeah, it was the idea of, well, why not have Luthor as a good guy all the way through?
Excellent casting.
Thank you.
Some really cool ones there. My one thing is, Jensen Ackles would make a really cool Kent and a really cool Superman.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering about if he would look bigger. Superman always looks more imposing.
Yeah.
To the other characters, to the Dan Turpins and whatnot. I think he would probably.
He does, because again, I was looking at pictures of him and he is ripped.
Oh yeah.
He is. I'm not saving those pictures onto my computer. I'm out of tapping. Fine. But no,
Fair enough.
no,
Yeah, it's true.
no, dude.
I enjoy it. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. Now, I believe that means it's Adam's turn to give one of us a challenge.
Oh. Let's think of a hero I could do.
I will say first, I don't like Superman, which is why that's why it was so fucking difficult, because I hate Superman. He's a twat. But, yeah.
I'm trying to pick a hero. Okay. I think I'm going to go with Dan.
Okay.
I think he could do the greatest justice to the character.
Interesting.
Okay, Dan, you can use any villains you want from the series.
Okay.
You can go follow any plot you want.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to cover Nightwing.
Nightwing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I reckon you could do it the most justice, because chances are I'd fanboy and do something crazy. We'd have a 2-part episode with Steve. It would be a second great 2-part episode.
Or you wouldn't.
But I reckon you could do Nightwing better than I obviously could.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I could. Yeah, Nightwing.
any
Interesting.
type of setting or?
No,
Is it like
Is it
any-
incorporated in these films?
yes, he will be initiated into the Justice League.
So he's going to be part of the Justice League.
Yes.
It'd be the film. He won't be a part.
He's going to make a cameo.
Oh, right.
I didn't mean he was going to go just like, hey, guess what,
Yeah.
bud? I'm part of the...
Yeah, trust me, he won't be making it.
Because actually he goes on to be like the leader of the Teen Titans before fucking Aqualad, bastard.
That's injustice.
I know.
But yes, you have the option for him making a cameo.
You know,
if you
did you
want,
know
that kind of stuff.
Slade in the animated one, the new 2012,
Yeah.
Slade's in it.
Yeah.
And there's a bad guy in it who I can't tell. He looks a lot like fucking Cyborg. It can't be Cyborg because Cyborg's not a villain. But if it is, but he keeps calling everybody meat. He's like, hey, meat. I'll show you it was like
Yeah,
a 2012 con.
Yeah, Nightwing. I'd have some fun with Nightwing.
What, you mean like when... Like the...
We're becoming the gayest show on the airwaves. We need
I can have more from a back girl, but you know.
Yeah, we go.
Wonder Woman. Oh, girl.
Yeah, you don't need to be an oracle so
I know what I'm doing for either you or Stephen next time. But for now, you have Nightwing.
Just remember what happens when
To
you
be
have
fair,
to
you should really give him now.
Alright, it's fair
And then it
enough.
might be done for the week after.
Alright then, I reckon...
the next
hang
one.
on, I will actually give him his podcast now if you like.
Dan,
I would like you...
Never said I wasn't.
I would like you to write the question.
There you go.
You have the question to work with. I also want an appearance from Huntress. Huntress must make an appearance. Have fun casting her.
Which question?
The original.
just as League of
Original
Legends.
question.
Yes, the original. Huntress will make an appearance.
I was going to say, because Renee Montoya does eventually become the question.
Well, consider I know nothing of his actual enemies and all that. Am I to pick anyone in particular? Am I to pick a villain that actually existed in his universe? Or?
Pick any villain you know that he has encountered at some point and could work.
Yeah, look through his past.
And
Which,
is it-
trust me,
and is-
it'll be a lot of fun for you.
And is it? And are we assuming that he is eventually going to crop up in the Justice League movie?
Yes.
If not this Justice League, he's going to crop up in various
Yeah,
other...
we're going to give him the movie time he deserves.
Any restrictions? Anything I'm not allowed or?
Well, the question, Warner Bros. is more likely to give you a better thing of like, yeah, you can get away with that. Because Superman, it's their friend, their face,
Yeah.
Superman and Batman, you're like, Batman can do a lot more than Superman can.
Yeah.
So the question will probably give you like a 15 rating wise, so you can get away a lot more. I'm thinking for Nightwing, I'd probably get away with a lot more than I'd get with Superman. To be honest.
All you have to do, make sure that's a question, make sure that's Huntress and Green Arrow.
Arrow?
Yeah, let's see Arrow there.
No, throw Arrow in there.
Those three.
All right.
Dan, you have Nightwing.
And whatever the fuck I want.
Pretty much.
We got to tie you down, you see, because otherwise your mind goes too much.
But you still have the Green Arrow, which kind of blows up the world for me. It's like,
Arrow was a decent one. I did like that in your fan cast.
Yeah.
The Wayne Enterprises and Queen
Queen
Industries.
Industries,
I
yeah.
thought that nice little touch, and it's like the subtleness that you need. The next they're going to start joining these films and the universe together.
Yeah.
Not sure how much time we have left for open forum.
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
I can get that done
Well,
in 20 minutes.
15.
Well, yeah, so basically, with the fan cast done, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to open up the forum to any and all topics.
I would like to begin with revisiting a rant of mine that I've taken rather passionate in, which is the people of my generation.
Yeah, that's from the first,
My
first
generation.
episode, wasn't it?
Yes.
In the very first episode.
It was. He talked about
People
sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember clearly saying, and you probably hear it on the episode, I'm not touching underage sex.
Exactly.
Here's it. There are colleagues. The first thing I'd like to address is something I know gets on all our nerves. It's
An envelope.
No, it's hashtag swag.
Oh God.
Here's the deal. You know those like the crappy pictures you find from Tumblr where it's the guy and the girl kissing or something faded out with the white writing. Like
Yeah.
There was one, and this was a genuine quote. It said, "It's not rape if I have swag." No, it is rape.
It's not rape if you say surprise. It's a surprise sex.
Look, swag. I hate
I'm
people.
judging you.
There were other things like
Don't judge me.
there were also pictures that said, "Who needs good grades when you've got swag?"
Yeah.
People who want a career.
Yeah.
Whoa. I failed all my A-levels. I've got a career.
Yes, but did you ever?
He is a guest host. He is the co-host of the greatest wrestling podcast in the world.
See, the difference between you and the people who have the
Not including the art of wrestling with Paul Man.
See,
That's
or Rod Pod.
Yeah, but that's the greatest in the universe. There's a bit of difference.
Yeah, but see, you're devoted to what you do. Because Stephen and we can both attest to this. You could, when you get your mindset on work, you do the work. It's these people who come across.
Just to share this with everyone listening, me and Dad are up at the comic book store, right? Dad came up to me one day and said, so how do you feel about the comic store? I think you're the guy to do it. And I went, yeah, that sounds great, we'll talk about it. The very next day, I had a pile of books from banks about business loads and everything. So if you just get that read through, it's like,
But I guess in the comic book store, someone's going to go up to Stephen and say, "Can you recommend anything?" And they'll be there for 2 weeks.
Can you recommend anything that we go on?
Dad!
Adam!
So
That's done. He's out for lunch.
It's like,
he's chanting up that Poison Ivy cosplayer.
He's out for lunch. That was an hour ago.
Or there's some laughs trying to write something, and I go over. Can I help you? I'm just looking for some ideas for a fanfic. Can you possibly suggest anything? Yeah, ask someone else.
How
close it in that way.
I'm a dog side hung shit out of Superman.
Yeah. It's 2 hours later, and then
the opening credits.
and then the world stands still. What?
Why the fuck did you laugh at that line, by the way?
That line just gets... It's like... It kind of sounds like one of those things, when you hear, and the first thing you think of is, you fucking dick. What sort of thing is that? It's like one of those... What's the preposterous?
Pretentious?
No. Well, kind of. It is a little bit...
What do you mean by it? Like, it's like...
Preposterous?
Like a preposterous notion, like the entire world would stand.
It's like, the world stands
still. Well, no. In the sense that, if you think about Metropolis just having this battle...
All those shitty things you hear in a really bad trailer.
Well, it's the idea... Yeah, I see what you mean. Pompous.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Pompous.
Well, it's the idea of Metropolis is, in itself, its own world.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But anyway... Continue with your rant, Adam.
I will. Everything just goes back to the fucking fanfic. Right.
No, to be fair, you started talking about reading comic book stuff. So.
Yeah, that was my fault, I'll grant you. But yes, it was...
I would be chatting up the Poison Ivory.
See, because the reason was, when I went to get this...
Ivory.
When I went to get the derp of the week, I just went on to Google Images and typed in derp. The first thing that I could think of. And I got a lot of these posters coming up, and it kind of inspired such hatred and bile within me that I genuinely, for a moment, thought I was becoming someone like Darkseid, because it's just the idiocy of it all.
Do you know what's worse than swag? YOLO.
Oh God, YOLO. Here's I have and this is my general belief. If a girl falls in love with a guy at our age, and that's sexism because he has swag, she probably deserves the underage pregnancy that it would ensue.
Yeah.
The child doesn't. The child, bless it, would have to grow up knowing that its dad got with the glass because of swag. But tell you what, I'll adopt it, teach it how.
Well, in fairness, parents might die, you might become the next Batman.
Yes, but
all's well that ends well.
But there's these people who think that they can just forget school, and there's people who think do whatever they want because of swag or YOLO. That's not how the world works.
I tell you how bad it is. I was visiting my friend Charlotte the other night, and we're walking with her 2-year-old daughter. And as we're walking around, a bunch of chavs were walking past. And as I walked past, little Lucy looks at Charlotte. What's this? Charlotte leans over. What is it? And she goes, chavs. Our kids are learning. Our kids are learning about chavs.
Fucking time.
Do you know what's worse than all of that, though?
What?
People who claim to be gangster.
Yo.
Not you. These people who, like, take photos.
Well, you remember when Justin Bieber said he wanted to look thug?
I remember coming down stairs one day. I had longish hair. I was wearing my leather jacket, and I was about to go out, and then I saw Justin Bieber on the TV. Not really knowing who he was, and I saw his name, and I saw that he had longish hair and was wearing a leather jacket similar to mine. I was going, "Oh fuck!" And I had
The thing is, you had that style long before that twat.
Yep.
I had this style on before fucking Fred Durst, but you know.
But it's like these people who take photos of themselves on Facebook, like wearing a cap and doing this kind of business or this, and you people can't see for the purposes of the listening at home.
We'll put it up on Tumblr.
Yeah. Maybe try.
From now on, whenever you want to view the pictures that go along with us and wonder why we're laughing so much, just click the link on Tumblr underneath in the description.
Yeah, but it's well done. You have no concept of how to wear jeans.
Yo!
Again, damn.
In fact, I have a problem with people who like wear jeans deliberately off their ass.
That's what I mean.
It's like, and also, guys who wear skinny jeans, fuck the lot of yous. Go to hell.
Yeah, there should not be anything that's called unisex for jeans.
Cracker fucking wears these skinny jeans. And I've said to him before, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, I knew a guy who wore one sleeve and I goes, do not feel uncomfortable when he sits there and goes, oh yeah, they cut the circulation off to my balls. So I went, well, what the fuck's the point of wearing them? Oh, they look cool. I went, no, dude, I can see you. No, they don't look cool at all.
But that was the thing. Like, I was talking to someone who thought they had swag, and the other.
And what did they look like on the photo?
What kind of business?
And
the other one. That kind of business. Aye. But they genuinely thought they had swag, and this is not a proud moment for me. But the Byron hit that came out was, no, you've got it wrong. Swag isn't an STD. It turns out, me and discussed this before, I'm funniest when I'm really angry.
Yeah.
But
so is he.
The thing is, just get people who claim to have swag, they annoy me more because it just... I have utter respect for people who work hard to get where they are. I have respect for you and Stephen because you two will work hard to get whatever it is you want. These people who think they can just waltz into any given situation, use swag, whatever the hell swag actually is. Because, honestly, they never tell you what swag is. Because back in the old days, swag was treasure.
Yeah.
These people aren't treasure.
Actually, swag was stolen loot.
Yeah.
As opposed to not stolen loot.
Yeah.
Or a loot that you play.
But it's these lasses who think they can be...
Yeah, you keep stuck in that.
A pen. He's
fine.
10.
I think you're fine. I'm smoking.
But that's the thing. It does get on my nerves when you see lasses walk up and they'll go out with every guy they can because of YOLO. That's not... Have fun being a prostitute, okay?
You only live once, so don't kill yourself with it.
Yeah, you only live once. But, well, someone's got to break that to the Buddhists. Really get it.
And like you said many a time, James Bond proved that wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you only live once. You die twice.
Yeah. These are the lasses who go out with the bad boys because some god knows.
And that's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I'm a mean motherfucker.
Yeah.
An arsehole, right?
We know.
Never said I wasn't.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm single.
And I know it is kind of a little. It is a little bit of sour grapes, I'll grant you that, but
I'm very much alone.
So I know. These has to go, oh, I just want a nice guy. No, you don't!
Yeah, I want a guy just like you.
No, you don't!
I'm right here. Not you. Fuck you!
What you want is a hot guy who pretends to be nice while actually being an asshole.
You're right here! In fact, though, you're a nice guy pretending to be a twat.
The problem, and it boils down to this. The problem I have a lot of people these days is the only thing they have degrees in is swag and burglary. That's pretty much it.
No. I bet you most of them can tell you how to roll a joint.
Yes.
And how to have sex in a bush without the coppers finding you.
And okay, Dan, hang on 1 second. You don't have ear piercings. Right.
I used to.
People who think it's a brilliant idea to put neon green plates in their faces.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. You deserve a metallic coloured bullet into your ear.
Yeah, but that's getting onto a completely different thing. Because that's getting on from kids your age or swag and all that.
To scene kids.
To being more like, it's not even scene kids to cut up off body modification.
Yeah.
It's off tattoos, off piercings.
Here's the thing, piercings and tattoos, I don't mind. My dad's got tattoos. They're pretty awesome.
No, not pretty awesome. They are awesome.
They are legend. Wait for it. We don't have enough time to wait for it. Dairy! But I have great respect. I like people who and the tattoos and piercings are really cool. It's the people who go overboard with it and put like nails down their faces. And...
Yeah, that's true. But once again, that's like you're saying that that's the same thing as swag and whatnot. Well, no, it's just something they're into.
But
there's guys who get the tattoos on their necks and their faces and their hands.
Okay.
It's their body, let them do it.
Swag in itself is not a bad thing. It's people who...
No.
Sorry, did I say swag?
Yeah.
Piercings, sorry. Piercings themselves.
Even then, the notion of swag is completely misunderstood by the people who claim to have swag.
I would swag. Have you?
If you have swag, you don't need to advertise that you've got swag.
You really shouldn't.
It was like, you got swag. Where'd you bury it? And where's the map? And more importantly, where's your boat?
And people, get to me. People my age that say, like, screw the police. I hope they get drunk and fall into police stations just to watch the police screw with them.
Do you want me to say that?
Yeah. Thank you.
the people who your age who say fuck the police.
Yeah, so the problem is
fuck the police.
I can't swear on the show, so I have to get Dan to swear for me. But yeah,
and then you're hoping that the police catch him on a night and they
fuck him, except for our cousin who's actually a really good police officer.
Fuck the police. That's how I treat them.
And I meant the word "up" is meant to be added to that sentence.
Fuck up.
And people who take photos of themselves on Facebook with the middle finger up, with a caption like, Dan, if you would again, please say the F word.
Fuck you.
Yeah, the haters.
Haters gonna hate.
No, yeah, haters are gonna hate because you're worth hating. Because you do stupid things.
Fuck the haters. Yeah, you're a hater yourself when you say fuck the haters.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much me done with all the bio... I have a friend who I have a problem with these days. Sorry, if that was a bit of an anticlimax.
I have a friend who I have a problem with.
Yeah, she has a habit of calling every lass that she sees a slut.
Is she a big slag?
Yeah, she says this, and then
she live in Essex?
No, she lives in South Stanley. She lives in South Stanley, so it's to be expected.
Right.
No, she will call every girl a slut, and then she goes and sleeps with a boyfriend, who's I think 2 years older than her. Can't.
Her boyfriend.
That's what I say. That's not a slut.
It's not a slag.
That's
just a relationship.
That's what my fiance wants. You bad whore.
No, what she then does is
oh, you poor boy.
She will then text all of her friends and all of her Facebook friends and tell them about such an event.
Dude, that's not bad. Try getting woken up at 2 in the morning with a phone call where you can still hear the guy breathing next to her.
I'm sorry, Dad.
And you don't turn the fucking phone down because you're still whipped. So low.
It's alright, Dad.
I'm saying nothing.
And I think
I've committed far too many crimes.
So that's your violent Ben.
I think the last
the
last area of people I have a problem with are scenes and hipsters.
Yeah, but everyone doesn't like them. And don't start hating on them because if you do, you'll become a hipster because it's not cool yet.
Yeah.
You had some venom to spew this week, I believe.
I had venom to spew last week.
We have 5 minutes for your venom.
I do believe this week, though, because we've got editing points. I do believe that this week you said that someone else added to your ship list on Twitter.
Oh, yes. So I can't actually talk about that, but quite frankly, there is just one person out there who, first of all, can't decide if they're male or female. Doesn't matter, I'll still find your balls and kick them. But they don't know, they know of me. They've never met me. They know of me. And yes, I am coming to find you. And I'll leave it there.
I'm coming to get you. Where is he?
But I will find you.
Oh, shit!
To quote Liam Neeson, I will find you. And I will kill you. Warning, Steve Jones, if they don't actually kill you, he's just trying to sound cool.
He will more than likely make you a scum.
And as we reach the 1 hour and 26 mark, maybe we should Can you hear that?
Hang on, it's this.
The electricals?
Oh.
Oh shit, it must mean it's time for the shameless plugging time! So, I really need to get those electricals looked at. You can follow us on... You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/shout-the-show. You can follow us on Tumblr, where you find all pictures and videos related to the show, or on shouttheshow.tumblr.com. You can also follow the Geek on Twitter at Geek King. That is G33K _KING. That is G number 3 K _KING. You can follow Adam at the Lone Walker 1. That is the Lone Walker number 1. And you can follow me, Steve Jones 313. That is Steve Jones number 3 number 1.
Leave your homes and families and follow him.
You can, don't forget, you can also follow Reese Cannon. He's our resident artist. Cannonball.tv.com, that is CANNONBAWL.tv.com. All links, of course, are in the description of the video. Our next episode will be episode 22 on August 25th, and it will not feature Adam, for Adam is going on holiday. It is the Pipe of Destiny! Because it's a pipe of destiny! Sorry. Anyway.
In the middle of fucking plug.
You can now follow us on Tout. Basically, Steve Jones 3 on Tout, and I believe it's Geek. Is it Geek King? Is it Dash or underscore?
Geek underscore.
Geek underscore King on Tout. Follow us on Tout. If you send us a video, we'll reply. Not sure what we'll reply with, but we'll reply.
Remember, 15 seconds. Don't send us more than one video.
That's why I don't do fan casts on Tout. But from
I might have to do fan corner on camp.
Oh yes, we did receive a question.
Oh,
Jesus! We did receive a question, a very special question.
Ow! I guess then we can go over a bit of that.
This was sent by email.
Okay.
Having done over 20 episodes so far, what would have to occur to satisfy yourselves that the show has become successful? In other words, what would symbolise to you that hashtag shout is a successful show?
Oh, all three choices.
Well,
so they haven't asked.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I would. Okay, three things.
Oh, here we go.
One, a meme to be made out of something we said.
That would be pretty awesome.
That'd be awesome.
That's pretty cool.
That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well, if anyone's wondering, the meme I would make would be the whole violent hatred.
Yeah.
Because that came when Macy watching Raw and everything was happening. I just kind of went, do you know how I feel for this one? Violent hatred. But the other two things would be boom. Yeah. The other two things would be if we got if we got enough merchandising sales from this that we could get an actual studio.
For me, it would either be invited to do some kind of cameo in a online video guy like a Out of Glasses deal or a Spoony thing or something like that, or to be invited to do a very short panel at a con.
Yeah.
Something like that would be awesome.
I mean, I'm not into it for success. I'm into it as funny. But, I mean, it would be cool to maybe, if we got we didn't have to do a panel, but maybe do a live show somewhere.
Yeah, live show. Ultimately, I mean, that's the highest accolade. For me, like, the most minimum that would be awesome is if I went somewhere and somebody recognised the show. Maybe they don't recognise me, but they might say, have you ever heard a shout? And they'd be like, yeah, I actually host it with my other co-hosts, you know? Yeah. So something like that. But yeah, there you go. With that question answered, it's time for us to say goodbye. Next week, the show will be presented by just me and Dan. So it'll be an interesting episode. Of course, we might be able to hear Dan's finecast if he's done it, because that's what he's more reliable than I am. He writes a script, I write a fucking epic.
I might send it out in.
You might send it out in?
Indeed.
We can't play it on the show, but
just for your own amusement.
Okay.
And on Tumblr.
Well, it's time for us to say goodbye. So from Adam, it's goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
From Dan, it's goodbye.
Peace.
Everybody, it's goodbye. So, until next time, guys, remember, tune in next week to hashtag
shout!